You lean into the booth window like you own the night. Your breath fogs the glass and your eyes do not blink. I do not know you. You tap the counter with 2 fingers, impatient, like I am late. Then you say it, calm as a signature. You should not have taken it. My stomach turns over. The booth is small enough that my thoughts bounce off the walls and come back louder. The security monitors glow in a row, each one a different angle of the same empty industrial lot. Sodium lights, wet asphalt, a chain link fence that hums when the wind hits it. I keep my face still. That is the job. I am the night guard at a freight yard on the edge of town. A booth with a heater that works when it feels like it and a phone that only rings when something is wrong. I say, what did I take? You smile like you have already heard me ask that. Like this part is predictable. The coin, you say, and now it knows your name. Before I can answer, the phone rings. The booth phone is old beige with a cord that kinks like a tendon. The ringer is too loud in the cramped space. I glance at the display on the caller ID, my own number. I stare at it until the ring stops. Silence looms, thick and fast. I look back up. The booth window is empty. The lot is empty. The only movement is the rain sliding down the glass, turning the yard lights into smeared halos. I tell myself I imagine you because my shift starts at midnight and it is now 12:12 and I already feel tired in my bones. Then the phone rings again. My own number again. I pick up this time. My voice comes out lower than I expect. Olaf, greeted. Close to the receiver. Not mine, not quite. A wet inhale, as if the mouth is right against the plastic. Then my voice answers me. I hear myself say, do not look at the monitor in the corner. I freeze. The corner monitor is the one that covers the inside of the booth. It is there for liability, for complaints, for the day's supervisor who likes to watch if he thinks the night guard is sleeping. The voice on the phone is my voice, down to the roughness on certain consonants. It says it arrives early. I whisper, who's this? My voice on the phone laughs once, without humor. I hang up. My hand shakes as I set the receiver back down. The caller ID still shows my number, like it is smug about it. The heater clicks and blows a breath of lukewarm air that smells like dust. I force myself to look at the monitors. The yard is still empty. The gates are closed. The guard checkpoint light outside the booth is on. Then I look at the corner monitor. The camera shows the inside of the booth. It shows me sitting at the counter. It shows the phone. It shows the clipboard. It shows the empty space beside me. And it shows a shadow on the wall. Not mine. It is shaped like a person standing just behind my right shoulder, close enough that it should be touching me. The shadow is too tall. The shoulders are wrong, too narrow at the top and too wide at the bottom, like the shape is wearing someone badly. I turn my head. Nothing is there. I look back at the corner monitor. The shadow remains. It tilts as if it is leaning closer to my ear. The booth smells suddenly like pennies and cold metal. I reach for the drawer under the counter without thinking, the one where I keep my spare flashlight and the law book stamps. My fingers close around something small. Koi. I do not carry coins. I pay with card. I leave change in jars. I hate the weight of it in my pocket, but the coin is there, warm like it has been held. It is plain, no marking I can see, like a blank token. Too smooth, too thick. I set it on the counter and flick it with my thumb, the way my father used to when he could not sleep. The coin spins. It wobbles. It does not fall. It stands on its edge, perfectly upright, and keeps turning in place with a slow, steady certainty like a compass needle that refuses to settle. My throat tightens. I stop it with 2 fingers. The instant I touch it, the corner monitor goes black. All of them go black. The booth lights flicker once and stabilize. Outside, the yard lights still burn. Through the window I can see the fence and the puddles and the empty lanes. The phone rings. My own number. I do not pick up. I watch it ring until it stops. A second later, it rings again. I whisper, stop. The phone stops ringing. The booth becomes so quiet I can hear the rain hitting the roof in individual impacts. Then the radio crackles. It is the yard dispatcher, a daytime guy named Leon who sometimes calls to check if I am awake. His voice comes through in a sleepy mumble. You got a visitor, he says. I straighten. Visitor. I key the radio. Negative. No one signed in. Leon pauses. I see someone on the dock camera, he says. Talk. Standing by the east gate. East gate is half a football field away, beyond stacked containers. I cannot see it from the booth window. I say, I do not see anyone on my monitors. Leon laughs once, like I am joking. Your monitors are black, he says. My mouth goes dry. How do you know that? Another pause, longer. Leon says, because I am looking at them. I stare at the dead screens. I did not call him. He did not have access to my feed, not at night. Day dispatch office is locked. The supervisor keeps the keys. Leon sighs. Listen, he says, do not do anything stupid. Just let him in. Let who in? Leon does not answer right away. I hear paper rustling on his end, like he is reading. The owner is late. He finally says, the shadow arrives early. You know the rule. My fingers grip the radio so hard my knuckles pale. What rule? Leon says, you already broke it once. That is why it calls you from your own number. I slam the radio down. The coin sits on the counter, innocent, blank, heady with meaning. I think about the man at the window, the way he spoke to me like I have a history I do not remember. You should not have taken it. The phone rings again. My own number. This time I pick up before I can talk myself out of it. Ola, my voice answers, but it is not matching my mouth. It says, look outside. I pull the blinds aside. A figure stands under the checkpoint light just beyond the booth door, close enough that the bulb paints him a sick yellow. He is not the man from before. This one is thinner, wearing a dark coat that hangs wrong. His face is turned away, but there is something worse. His shadow is not behind him. His shadow stretches forward toward the booth, pressed against the wet ground like it is trying to crawl under the door. The figure raises a hand slowly and knocks on the booth door. The knock is soft, polite. The phone voice says, "It's only the shadow." I whisper, "Whose?" The phone voice says, "Yours." The knock comes again. I stare at the lock on the door. I keep it locked. Always. The handle begins to turn anyway. It turns with a steady pressure, like someone has the key. I stand so fast the chair scrapes. My skin prickles. The booth is too small to back away. The door is the only exit. The handle stops turning. Silence. Then the phone voice says, "Do not let it see the coin." My eyes drop to the counter. The coin is no longer lying flat. It stands on its edge again, perfectly balanced, as if it chooses that position when it is being watched. The door handle turns once more. I grab the coin. It is colder now, like it has been sitting in ice. As soon as my fingers close around it, the door handle stops. Outside, the figure does not move, but the shadow does. It slides forward across the wet ground, thinning, stretching, reaching the booth threshold. It pools there like spilled ink. The phone line clicks. My own voice whispers it wants to get in first. First before what? Before you, it says. My heart pounds hard enough to make my vision pulse. I am in the booth. I am already in. The voice says, "Not you in there. You in here." The receiver crackles. I hear a sound like fabric dragging across concrete. I look down. Under the door, a line of darkness pushes into the booth. Not like a shadow cast by light, but like a substance, a thin, crawling smear. It moves toward my boots. I step back and my heel hits the wall. I press the coin into my palm until it bites. The darkness stops, shivering as if it senses the coin. The phone voice says, "Flip it." But flip the coin, it says. It decides. I do not understand it, but my hand moves on instinct. I set the coin on the counter. My thumb flicks. It spins. It wobbles. It stands on its edge. It does not fall. The phone voice laughs again, softer this time, like it is relieved. It says it refuses to choose, so it refuses to leave. The darkness under the door creeps another inch. Outside, the figure finally turns his head. I see his face through the rain-smeared window. It is my face. Not exactly, but close enough to make my stomach drop. Same jawline, same eyes, same small scar near the eyebrow that I got when I was 12. He stares at the booth like he is waiting for me to open it. The phone voice says, "That is the owner. That is the late part." I whisper, "Then what is the early part?" The darkness lifts from the floor inside the booth, rising in a thin column. It is not smoke. It is absence. It presses itself against my legs without touching, like it is measuring me. On the wall behind me, a shadow forms, tall and wrong, shoulders too narrow, hips too wide. It mimics my posture a half second before I move. I turn my head toward the wall. The shadow turns first. The phone voice says, "It learns you in advance." My face outside the door mouths words I cannot hear through the glass. Then he smiles. It is the same smile I use when I want someone to trust me. The lock clicks. I did not touch it. The door opens a fraction, just enough for cold air to slip in and for the line of darkness to thicken. The coin on the counter continues spinning on its edge with a slow, steady patience. The phone still in my hand begins to ring while I am holding it, vibrating against my ear. The caller ID shows my own number. On the other side of the door, my face leans in closer. He whispers through the crack, like we share a secret. "You should not have taken it." And behind him, on the wet pavement under the checkpoint light, his shadow arrives first, already reaching for my feet. I raise the coin to my mouth, not knowing why, and the phone voice says, "If you speak into it, it speaks back." The shadow on the wall moves its head toward mine. The door opens another inch. The coin is still balanced, still refusing, and my own number calls again, louder, like it is trying to drown out whatever I am about to say.